I lost my mom when I was still at home, but I was younger then. She died in 2005 because I was only staying with my mom and my grandma. I've never met my dad. And then my mom died. I was left with my grandma, and then I stayed with my grandma until I ran away from home to here. And then while I was here in the streets, everyone just vanished at home. Like my grandma died, and then my other uncle died, and then that was it. It was just me. I think if I haven't met Tom, I think I would have been like out there just messed up. Maybe worse. Every time you go surf, you're connected to the wave now. You know what the wave's gonna predict, what the wave's gonna do. It's like connected to nature. You just see like lines. I used to make money at the Stop Robots. I was living at North Beach and I was sleeping at the skate park. What was difficult about it, you sleep on the floor, and the older guys, when you made like your own salary, and then the older guys will take it away from you. I'm not scared to go back to the street now, but my only guarantee is that I'll never go back. The first time I actually surfed, it was when I was young, at like 9 years old. That's when I came to the streets. And then I met up with Tom, and then Tom introduced me to the surfing. Like I didn't swim, I just went straight out to the ocean and I just learned how to surf.
Tom used to work for this children's village when he was a teenager, so he started there. In 2007, he opened an NGO around here in Durban called Ntando.
It wasn't long before I realized that you couldn't just go to the streets and find kids that were high on glue and say, hey, would you like some counseling? You know, it just doesn't work like that. There had to be something to actually open the door. We were using soccer, art, drama, music, all sorts of things, and with some success. But it was when we introduced surfing, sort of 12, 13, perhaps 14 years ago, that suddenly kids were coming through the program in droves. I mean, they were really wanted to surf. They were really consumed by this activity. The kids would surf, they'd come in tired, they'd rest on the beach, and that would be a moment where the social workers could work with the kids. I can't remember the exact first time I met Ntando, but I remember him very, very clearly. He was tiny, and he came into the program and got interested in surfing quite early on.
He told me if I carry on, I can get good, I can get sponsored. When I first started surfing, I was only getting support from Tom, and he made me like want to push it, and he pushed me to push myself.
If we look at his surfing, Ntando's biggest strength is that he has natural ability and determination. He keeps going and he perfects these moves, and I think that makes him a very strong surfer.
On day one, on my first wave, that's when I realized this is something different to me. When you play soccer and you hit like a nice goal, obviously that's like the best feeling ever. That's how surfing feels, but more in slow-mo.
Sister, he's a good guy. He's like, I think he's like one of the, how can I say, he's the leader of the house. Sister, that one is a cute one. He likes to surf. He's a hard work. He's good with his hands. On Ntando, he's an ex-pro. Watch out for Ntando.
I think adrenaline probably is the key ingredient. With surfing, there's also lifestyle surrounding surfing that's also really helpful. The kids all like being surfers. As we used to joke about when they put their wetsuits on and suddenly, you know, they weren't street kids anymore, they were surfers. And that's where we got the term surfers, not street children. It came out of seeing them wear these wetsuits as like a badge of honor, and they'd walk sort of head held high, walking through the areas that they were living on the streets to the beach. So there was something very transformative about wearing these wetsuits and having a different identity.
Wow, surfing, it helps us a lot. It takes us away from crimes or do like bad things. Guys will be on the water for 4 hours. Like.
The longest I've ever gone without surfing is like 2 days. If I don't surf, I don't feel like myself. I feel grumpy and grouchy, and yeah.
Surfing, it's an interesting pastime because there's something about it that's intrinsically therapeutic. Firstly, what surfers call stoke, the whole encompassing feeling of excitement around it, but it's just so much deeper than that. It's also all-consuming. One of the reasons that we've been able to use it as part of transitioning kids out of the streets. So when you're not surfing, you're thinking about surfing, and when you're exhausted after it, you know, you kind of don't want to do anything else because you want to get ready for tomorrow morning's surf. You know, it does kind of take over.
It's like a drug. You get addicted to it. It's a good drug. Like, it helps you with the physical. You learn patience. So surfing is like, it helps us a lot. So guys will be on the water from morning to afternoon to the evenings.
Surfers Not Street Children aims to be a springboard towards a popular movement around street children. And granted, surfing's not everyone's interest and doesn't have perhaps the interest of a sport like football or other sports like that. But at the same time, what it does do is it captures people's attention everywhere. So they don't have to be interested in surfing, but the story of these ex-street kids, these African surfers, is just different. We believe that by articulating it, by sharing it, using these incredible characters in the team and their amazing surfing and capturing people's attention, we can actually change the way that society perceives and treats street children.
goes with us. We can go somewhere and then come back here. Makes us feel safe.
Every household has challenges. Sometimes they just want to like go watch TV, play PlayStation on computer. So it's a minor thing. So it's not. There's no big challenges. Yeah.
The thing with living with a lot of guys, it's the best because you got people to support you and people to argue with and people to share good stories with. Like when I go to the contest, even if I lose, I know the guys are happy for me, then that makes me feel good. In Durban, we got a couple breaks, New Pier, North Beach, Bay of Plenty, Snake Park, Battery, it's your choice. Normal day, I wake up early, I go surf for maybe like 2 hours, then come back, have breakfast, and then chill for like another half an hour, and then go back. When it's like a rainy day or a chill day, I normally like run. Or when it's like a hot, but not that hot, I just go skating. I think the skating helps me, yeah, in terms of balance and my tricks to remember. And like sometimes when I'm not surfing and maybe the waves are small, it stops me from like getting angry and grouchy and stuff. I just do like simple training. I just run, do sit-ups, because all the other guys that I compete with, they're bigger than me. I'm like the smallest.
As with all kids living in the streets, Ntando got involved in certain things that we had to help him get out of, like sniffing glue, and that's the reality of the life. I mean, kids on the streets sniff glue not only to overcome the fear of being on the streets, but also to blot out the things from their past that are very, very troubling. In Ntando's life, I mean, he'd lost his parents. I mean, he was an orphan, and so, you know, the trauma of that meant that it was very, very easy for him to pick up a glue bottle and to blast all of that.
The worst thing that's happened to me while I was on the street, smoking glue, and then I saw like visions, vampires, and then they like started chasing me, and then I ran into a car. The thing that made me smoke glue was like it was nice. Like, cause when I first started, I've never like experienced anything like that. I just took glue and I was so high. You couldn't get enough of it, but it wasn't good, because like if you smoke it for too long, it makes you a cripple.
In the past, people thought that if you just got the child off the streets, that was great. You know, somehow life would go on. But the depth of trauma that all street children to varying degrees have developed on the streets and in the situations that force them to the streets are such that you really do need the therapeutic service to be able to transform, to be able to heal, to be able to go forward in life. So a holistic approach to working with street children is one that puts them on the healing journey. So I remember he got hit by a car, and it was just horrific, and he could have been killed. I think that was a real wake-up call for him, and soon after that he was able to put the glue bottle down and really immerse himself in not only the surfing program but the other programs that were on offer.
Yeah, when I came to the streets, I was like 6, 7. I was like up and down every day with taxis, and like I saw the street kids in the town, and I was like, oh. And that day, I was getting money, and I gave it to him, yeah, because he was a small boy, and like I asked him, how's the life in the street, how is it, and he's tuning me, it's nice, everything, and I was like, what? My father, he was hitting me every day, like he's tuning me. I don't know how I listen. I decided to go on the street. When I started surfing, I was like 7. If like I wanna be a pro surfer, if I'm not making it, I have to do another thing. Now I'm doing a ding repair. I'm getting paid. Yeah, it's nice.
He's got skills. He can fix broken boards. I've never seen someone, I only know you can do that at the factory. And he's got like life skills that he'll need when he's older.
I think it's all about independence. They have to work, they have to earn money, they have to prove themselves like to the rest of the world. It's like they've been given opportunities. They're gonna go there, show people what we are capable of doing.
We also tell other street kids like a life to change is not only to stay on the streets. You can surf, you can how fix a board, you can how play soccer. It's not about only surfing. My life it is how going forward. It's not going back. I can see like I'm going far.
At the beginning, it was challenging for them. They were like outsiders, they were outlaws. They had to go on certain stage, process by process, just to be accepted by a surfing community.
Yes, it was a very white sport historically, and there are really strong reasons as to why that was. I mean, firstly, beaches were segregated. That was a whites-only beach. Although most people were very welcoming, the few that weren't really did cause a problem, and there was massive racism from those few. But that's all changed now, because there were so many more people who loved the fact that things were changing and that these kids were changing their lives, and that there was something behind the surfing. There was the programs that were being run for these kids.
It was hard at the beginning because they're from the street, there are no rules on the street, they live by their rules. So in the beginning they were like, no, you can't tell me to do this and this, because where I'm from there was no one telling me what to do, so now you can't tell me what to do. But they started to change, they started to accept them, and now they're like good guys, yeah. They're like inspiring other kids.
One of the things that you'll notice about Ntando, if you ever surf with him, is that he never ever tells you about a wave that he's had, but he always paddles up to people and tells them how amazing their wave was.
If I'm not in the team's short, the team's not safe, if I put it that way. And then if I'm in the team's safe, same for like other guys.
He's got an incredible personality, but he's also got humility and some wisdom as well.
My surfing has taken me to the level I've never thought I'll be in. I've went to compete, I've never competed in my life, ever. I've never been overseas, I've never thought I'll go overseas. Getting selected to go represent South Africa overseas was like the biggest thing that's ever happened to me. I've never been on a big plane, and competing with the other guys, because the other guys are bigger than me, and it made me like feel strong in my surfing. I think with my own performance I did well because the team was happy. Representing South Africa there was It was great.
I think he can have a pro surfing career. It's what he wants. He's good enough.
He's using Durban, so if he can go outside and learn from other people, and then like, if he can become humble, yeah, he'll go far. He's a good kid, yeah.
The advantage, ironically, that he has if he was ever to become a professional free surfer is that he's got what a lot of surfers don't have. He's got this absolutely incredible story and this triumph over adversity. So, you know, in some respects, the very Achilles heel in his life might become a strength for him in terms of a career. Recently, he's been doing so well in the contest that it may very well be that he works towards a pro surfing career in contest surfing. He's definitely got the skill and the potential, but we've just got to look at, you know, what he feels comfortable with.
If you want to get sponsored, like, don't let anything distract you. Don't let people distract you. Don't. The nurse got me and then I didn't make it. And then one of the coaches there told me that it was easy, and he saw that I was nervous, and I was like, okay, then it was just the nervousness.
Ntando Msibi finds a wide one and gets with him.
I took that away, and then I went to repo charges where you get your last round. I got the momentum from there. Sometimes you can visualize yourself surfing and stuff, and you go out there and you do what you were visualizing earlier.
Under 17 boys division, round 5. American team super state. At the moment, Ntando.
Normally, the people you compete with are your friends. When I'm at contests, I hang out with them, we have fun. And then when it comes to a heat, that's the hardest part, because in the water you're not friends in the contest. You have to try beat him.
Out the back, it's Beverly in the red. Watch the snap, snaps into the pocket. Yeah. Ntando still going. Wave number 2, watch this young man go. Very performing on this side's been ripping all contests. Lovely, lovely. Very often seen Ntando forward. He makes from a 7
Ntando, he's into second. Vertical re-entry, watch this wave. Another vertical re-entry from Ntando. Snaps into the pocket. This man can glide on literally anything. Makes it look so easy. He's still going. Another vertical re-entry. Another re-entry.
Third place going to Ntando Msibi. Well done.
My dream for the surfers, not street kids, first of all, to see everyone like make it in life, have family, inspire other kids around the world.
us as a group, first of all, we respect ourselves from where we came from. Second of all, we respect other people, because without them, we'll be back there where we started. If I didn't come to the streets, I wouldn't be who I am right now. I've always dreamed big, like, I don't want to be famous, but I want to be known. Nah, that guy, we know him, he was a good person and that. Like, I'm looking at it as a 2-year plan. In 2 years, if I can, I'm looking at making it to the world tour.
Ntando is very skillful. He takes risk on the surfing. He goes hard, he goes big. Watch out for Ntando. Give us 2 years, you'll see us. We'll go big. Yeah, we'll go like inspire the kids around the world too.
Surfing's my passion. And my hope for the future is tell other people that there's always a way to get out the worst situations. Tell them about us. Show them there's always hope. If I had to